Welcome back, everyone, to another SlabStox 101 video. My name is Aaron, your host. In this video, we are covering the PSA population report, how to search it, and why it's so important, in different ways you can use it to your advantage, because there are many, many ways. The PSA population report is PSA's way to show everyone the amount of cards that they've graded for different cards, different parallels. No matter what the card is, it'll tell you how many grades there are of each card. So if you want to look at the Luka Doncic 2018 Prism base rookie, you can see how many cards got graded 10 versus 9 versus 8, 7, all the way down to 1. And I'll show you this in a little bit. And then you can see that for any card that PSA is graded. It is a super, super good resource to figure out what the supply levels are like for cards that are not numbered. So we talked about serial numbered cards that the card companies stamp the back of the cards or the front with the amount of cards that were produced. For cards like base cards and different parallels in basketball and football and all the sports, there's non-serial numbered cards. And this gives you an insight into how many might be out there, or at least you can compare one parallel to another to try to see which one's more rare or which one there was produced less or what have you. So the reason why it's so important, though, is because you can look at the marketplace on eBay and you can start to see differences in selling prices for certain cards versus others. And this will help you figure out what cards might be undervalued or what cards people might not be looking into that much. And it can really help you find good buys out there that you can start to, exercise in the market today. And I'm going to show you some examples towards the end of this video. Those are not the only examples. Those are just some examples that came to my mind right away. And I want you guys to employ that into different aspects of the marketplace, because it's huge, and not to focus just on the ones I'm searching for. Otherwise, it's not that good of an example anymore if it switches. So let's start by doing the tutorial. We are on psacard.com right now, and you can go to price guide. Just kidding. So right now we are on psacard.com, and you can go to pop report, which my cursor is right here. We're going to pop report, and we're going to click that. It's going to pull up a search for PSA graded items tab, and we're going to search in here for what we want. I will show you really quick, though. If you type in 2018 Prism Luka Doncic, it is not going to match our search criteria because there is not an exact match for this card. We are having some tough time loading it, as you can see, but here we go. So it's pulling up all the different sets right here. 2018 National VIP, because there's some Prism card in that. 2018 Panini Prism, that's actually the set we want. 2018 Panini Prism Emergent, that's an insert set, but shows all these different sets here. And that's not what we want. It takes forever to load those. It takes a really, really, really long time. We want to just return the exact card we want. So we look here, and we see that 2018 Panini Prism is the name of this set. And we're going to want to match that search exactly. So we already have Luka Doncic there, which is right there. We're going to type in Panini here, and it's going to do the work for us. And it's going to show us the exact search that we want when it comes to Luka Doncic and all of his cards. Here we go. Just popped up with all of Luka Doncic's number 280 card number from the Prism set. And we're looking at the base here first. Actually, we're looking at the silver first in the row. This is the silver Prism parallel. So you have 1, 1.5, all the way up to 10. And it shows you the amount that were graded. So there are 1,867 10s that were graded, 1,496. It shows you the total that were graded. And you see we have a 2 right here. So if you go to the left, there's going to be a 2 under the 8. But then you go further left, and you see it's a plus sign. That plus sign means a half. So it's saying that there's 2 8.5s graded out there, which makes this total 3,560. If we want to do some math to figure out how many or what the gem rate is on this card, we take 1,867 divided by 3,560, and we see it's a bit over 50%. Now you can apply this to any of the cards on this list. Here's the base Luka Doncic. There's over 13,000 PSA 10s out there. There's over 21,630 graded PSA 10 Luka Doncic cards out there. And then we see all the parallels, the Purple Ice, the Ruby Wave, Hyper, all that stuff, Blue Prism, Mojo, Red Ice. And watch this. If you type into the end here to make this more specific, I just want to see the Red Ice. It's going to show us just the Red Ice parallel, and then you can only see that line. There we go. Right there, Red Ice Luka Doncic, 177 10s. I have 289 total. So that is the basics of searching the pop report and returning the numbers. Now let's do a couple of examples to look into different ways you can find undervalued cards in the sports card marketplace or where people are not looking, because obviously the market sets the prices. What people want sets the prices, but those trends can switch over time, and we've seen it before where people start to get more educated. They start to see the new trends, they start to see what's undervalued, and their perceptions change. So this is what you can do to start to understand some of that. I already have the searches queued up here for us, and I was doing some research on the Michael Thomas last week for some Instagram content, and I found this out, and this was crazy to me to view here. So these two sales happened within a minute of each other on August 26th. The Prism Silver PSA 10, which you've already seen Nate's video on the Prism football, and you know that this Prism Silver is actually a base card. This Prism base / silver sold for $791 in auction. This red PSA 10 from Prism rookie of Michael Thomas 2016 sold for $670 on auction, which is cheaper, obviously. And even PWCC gave you a hand and told you what the population was on this. It said that there's only 6. So let's go and confirm that. We go here, and we're going to switch this to 2016. It looks like that they're doing some loading. So we're going to delete this out, and then we're going to type in Michael Thomas. So now we're going to get the Michael Thomas cards. We see the Prism here. Prism means silver when it just says Prism, and also in this case means base for the 2016 Prism. And it shows that there's 195 tens of 312 total graded. Looking over here on the right. Now, if we want to find out how many of those red ones there are, let's scroll down until we see red. And we see red right there, red Prism. And right here it says 6 PSA 10s out of 11 graded. So you're telling me that the one that there's 300 graded of sold for over $100 more than the one that there's 11 graded of. That is absolutely mind-blowing. If I was a football buyer watching these auctions and I saw that happen, I would be ecstatic if I got that red PSA 10 for $670 compared to the Prism Silver or base at $791. So you guys can take that theory and start to apply it to cards that are actively listed or in the marketplace today. I'll show you another example, this time comparing two different sets. So let's look at the 2019 Prism Kyler Murray PSA 10. This card is currently around $900 on September 15th. And I'm sitting here thinking, whoa, that's a lot for a Prism base PSA 10. Let's go and check out the pop report and see how many of them are out there. So we're going to go back here. We're going to do our same thing, switching the year to 2019, switching Michael Thomas to Kyler Murray. And now we're going to see how many there are. And once it loads, we're going to see that here's the base. There's 1,091 PSA 10 base of Kyler Murray in existence. There's over 2,345 PSA 10s. PSA total graded of that base card. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, what other sets are there in football that are popular like Prism? Now, Prism is the biggest brand. Many people love it, which is why this price is so high. We're looking at the Prism base. But what brands are big as well? And I'm sitting here, I'm thinking Optic, I'm thinking Select, and I'm thinking other, autograph brands too. But to make the closest comparisons, I'm thinking Select and Optic. And for this exercise, I'm picking Optic. So I'm coming over here, I'm looking at Optic, and I'm trying to see how much are these things on eBay. September 14th, $1,100 buy it now for Optic Hollow. I'll say this, Optic Hollow. The hollows are very rare compared to the base cards. So I'm sitting here already knowing, wow, an Optic Hollow, which is so much more rare than a base card. So for $1,100, just a little bit more. And then on auction, September 13th, one went for $960. I wonder how, what the supply is like, what the PSA grade population is like compared to that base card to see if it's worth my money to spend $100 or $200 extra to get an Optic Hollow PSA 10. So now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to switch this PSA search to Donruss Optic. Actually, we're going to type in Panini Donruss Optic because I know that's how their search returns. And we're going to type in Kyler Murray. And we are going to see what returns here. We're going to see all the Kyler Murray Optic cards here. And here's the base right here. So first off, we can see in the base, there's only 65 base PSA 10s out of a total of 237 graded. That is a really, really, really tough gem percent or PSA 10 rate. So that's really low. Now let's keep looking. Let's get down to the hollow. Looking at the hollow, there's 55 PSA 10s of 163 graded. That's less than 30% gem rate for that card, or just right around there, 30% gem rate, compared to the 50% gem rate for the Prism, which also had 1,000 PSA 10s out there. So right now I'm sitting here thinking, holy cow, there's only 55 PSA 10s out there of the Kyler Murray Optic Holo compared to 1,000 of the Prism-based PSA 10s, and the card's more scarce, and it's only $200 more about, or even, if you take this auction, for example, it was closer than $200. I'm for sure going Optic Holo PSA 10 because over time, as sports card investors and collectors get more educated about supply levels, about PSA population reports, about consumer demand, they might start to see a shift in this trend. That's not to say that the Prism line is worse than Optic line. That's just me thinking, sitting here, that Prism base is worse than Optic Holo. So, it's not me saying, oh, this is for sure the fact. It's just me thinking, as someone that's trying to research and find undervalued cards, that might be someplace I can go. That's not to say that the trend's going to switch. That's just to provide an example with how my mind is thinking using PSA population reports and eBay sales data. So that's really all I got for this PSA population report tutorial. You saw how to search in it. You can search in for any card. Just start to use keywords and start to see what matches, and you can find the population reports. And then use eBay sales data to start to compare different sets and parallels and start to find undervalued buys so you can become more educated in sports cards and go where people are not. That's the biggest thing. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next video.